Right, well, hello. It's 3rd of August 2026, and the main problem this year in the garden has been drought. It's been incredibly dry, and the garden shows that the lawn is yellow. A lot of the plants are suffering. I've lost one or two plants. So I'll just wander around and we'll do a quick video. In other things, Janine's much the same, terribly tired, sleeps a lot, is too tired even to be read to, but she has the television on and we watch programs. Very uncomplaining, very good patient, but it's hard, it's very hard. We've got a new mattress, a new air mattress, which is sort of working, but it's pros and cons. But it's difficult. With me, I've got some surgery at the end of the month, so I may be a bit incapacitated after that. 2 days after my surgery, Stephen's going on holiday to Krakow in Poland, so it's going to be an interesting week. I think my daughter's coming down to help, but it's going to be difficult because I'm fairly sure they're going to tell me not to lift, and I lift Janine probably about 4 times a day. But whatever, anyway, enough of that. It's gardening, so let's have a look at the garden. Right, so, if we just have a look at this hydrangea in a pot, you can see how, even though it gets watered, it's just, the display just is not as good as it should be. But whatever. Got some quite nice catmint, though it's rather sort of green and gone. The purpley stuff there is catmint. So, and then here you can just see how dry it is. At the back here, we've got some honesty, which comes early in the spring, but I'll probably collect seeds of that. But I think this is Montbretia, or it's got another name, but anyway, it's just dried and died really. Got rhubarb there. But one of the things I'm a bit worried about is the Cotoneaster, because normally in the winter, this great big Cotoneaster, it's absolutely full of berries and the birds like it. But I think it's going to drop a lot of its berries because I think the plants drop what's not essential. And that can include berries and leaves and all kinds of things. They just want to survive, I suppose. A bit like us, really. But anyway, the Canna lily, I'm very pleased with. This bright orangey yellow thing is really bright, and it doesn't mind this hot weather at all. I tried growing seeds. Last year, but didn't have any luck. But I'll try again. At the back of the Canna lily, there's a hosta, not a hosta, a hydrangea, but it's really struggling despite getting watered pretty regularly. Whoops. Right, so that's the Canna lily. Quite impressive. Bit of colour, could do with a bit more of that. Because that was one of the ambitions, was to get colour. We did have colour earlier on in the year, but it's been so dry that it's been sort of shriveled up. Got my little pond with a few fishes there. At the back we've got a mulberry. Just a little mulberry I planted. And that one did actually produce mulberries, but I think the squirrels probably ate them. Had a lot of hollyhocks, great big tall hollyhocks. Again, I've kept some of the seeds from the hollyhocks and I'll plant those out. Got quite a nice hosta over there. Not hosta, sorry. Hibiscus. It's age, hibiscus. But this is the great big mulberry tree that Zeffie and later Oren will be able to run round. It has lots of blossom, but doesn't seem to produce any mulberries, so it's a bit of an odd one. So that's the hibiscus. I've got a few hostas. I don't really like hostas because the slugs will eat them. But yeah, they do okay. But again, they need a bit of water. One thing I am pleased, I had a peach I planted quite a few years ago, and it got terrible peach leaf curl. But I'll show a picture of the antifungal I've sprayed it with, and it really has worked. I've actually got some leaves that aren't all gnarled up, and affected by peach leaf curl. So there are ways of treating peach leaf curl. I'm really quite pleased with that. Again, that gets a little bit of water. So we'll have a look at the veggies. Stephen's got a great big pumpkin that he's been growing. So we'll go and look at the pumpkin. And then we've got some sweet corn. And just here's the great, it's a bit difficult to get at actually, but here's the great big pumpkin. You can just about see it. I think he's got a bit trampled over, but anyway, in there somewhere, let's have a look. Here's a great big pumpkin. Yeah, in there's a big pumpkin, bigger than a football. And then we've got another little one there. And then one of the things I bought in the summer was this rotivated rolling compost bin. It's because we've got mice and probably rats in some of the compost bins further down when I put food. It does seem rat and mouse proof, and it does make compost. The problem is you really need two of them because you're always putting in some fresh stuff. So it's never sort of completed. I think what I do is empty it out into one of the other compost bins and then fill it up again. But I think it has some uses. So then we've got runner beans, potatoes, Brussels sprouts. I do like Brussels sprouts for Christmas, so those might be okay. And I think we've got a lettuce under here, I think. Lettuce under here. Oh, there should be a couple of lettuces. My bonsai trees. Stephen's pond over here. My grandchildren raised the netting up with posts, and I think it is better. That's an orange tree, but the oranges are really tiny and not much culinary use, but whatever, it's an orange. And then we've got the lemons done quite well, but again the pots have to get watered. And just have a little wander around. I've got a few more flowers here. The Cotoneaster at the front is not the Cotoneaster, the wisteria at the front has done really well. It's really vigorous, but again I do water that because I don't want it suddenly to die because of lack of water. That's the lilac there. But I thought that was penstemon, but some of the people that came to the garden party thought it probably wasn't, so I don't know. And there's another hibiscus I got on my uncle's there. That's a hibiscus, quite nice. It will get bigger. Then we've got Margaret's rhododendron in a pot, which really is looking quite happy. It gets watered quite a lot. Got a few more little things in pots down here. Stephen's got his tomatoes. I don't think they've been as good as last year, but we'll have a few tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers and things. And I say the main wisteria is at the front, and it has come round the corner there. But I planted another one in this corner, which I think is pretty much identical species. The flowers look very similar, but that one will grow up. I'm pleased with the roses that have grown up to Janine's bedroom. That we've got a rose going up here, and there is one that actually goes right to Janine's bedroom, and then we've got another one on the other angle here. So I'm pleased with those. They need a bit of deadheading, but that's doing well. One thing that is doing quite well is a nice rose there, sort of white, mainly white rose, with a little bit of pink. It's quite nice that. We've got another wisteria. It hasn't flowered yet, so I don't know if it's the same variety, but because it's near the water butt, the water gets splashed over, so it's really quite happy, and it's going up there. So I should be interested to see what the flowers are like. So I think that's about it for the garden in August. As I say, I may be a bit incapacitated. Oops. I may be a bit incapacitated next month, but we shall see. Right, so I think that's about it for early August. Trump's still, in my opinion, doing silly things. I think he's going to claim a victory in Iran, even though he probably lost, but that won't be any problem for him. I hope to goodness in the November elections, the House and the Senate have a Democratic majority, because Trump needs to be constrained in some way if possible. It's going to be a very difficult 2 years, because Trump will hate being told he can't do things. He'll be absolutely vindictive. But whatever. Anyway. So I hope to see you on a video in a month, and best wishes to everybody, and here's hoping for rain. Cheers, everybody. Bye.